So hopefully I do better with my record prediction. Week 1, the Seahawks also start on the road like your Ravens. We start on the road in Indianapolis versus the Colts, which you said they're one of the most underrated teams, which I would have to disagree with because Carson Wentz is trash and has actually never beat the Seahawks. He's 0-4 versus the Seahawks. So I am going to chalk this up as a Week 1 win. I don't think it's going to come easy. They're going to have to battle. I mean, cornerback is definitely a position for the Seahawks that is, I don't know, a little bit in question, I guess, right now, until we actually see them on the field and see how they perform in preseason. It's a little uncertain, I would say. And the Colts certainly have some good receivers, but they still have that trash quarterback. So we'll see what happens. I'm picking the Seahawks. I'm going to say Russell Wilson, late fourth quarter, probably last drive to win that one. Week 2, the Seahawks are traveling back home to Lumen Field, no longer CenturyLink. It is now Lumen Field versus Christian's Tennessee Titans. And Christian, I'm not sorry. I am taking the Seahawks to win that one as well. Like I just mentioned about the Seahawks with their questions at cornerback, well, the Titans have no wide receivers left anymore except for A.J. Brown. So we'll just put all 4 cornerbacks on that one wide receiver, not worry about anybody else, and then just stop Derrick Henry. So, which Bobby Wagner will do that no problem, I'm sure.
I didn't know he was a Titans fan, or else I would have probably got into it a little more. But
oh yeah, Christian is the resident Titans fan here. So yeah, we have a Titans fan, a Steelers fan, and a Cowboys fan listening right now.
Bengals fan.
Yeah, and a Bengals fan. Yeah, exactly. Week 3, back on the road. We're heading to Minnesota. We're playing the Vikings. And this is where I see Seattle taking their first loss of the year. Again, I'm just going back to those cornerbacks, Adam Thielen, Justin Jefferson, yikes. So and Dalvin Cook. So that's definitely a monster that I'm nervous about. I know Seattle beat Minnesota last year in Seattle, but it took 2 fourth-down conversions to win that game, including the game-winning touchdown coming on a fourth-down conversion to my boy DK Metcalf, episode 14, the DK Metcalf episode. So this game being in Minnesota as well, I'm going to give that one to the Vikings. Week 4, we are still on the road. This time we are heading to the West Coast. We're going to the San Francisco 49ers, and I am taking the Seahawks to win this game because I fully predict that Jimmy Garoppolo will still be the quarterback of the 49ers in Week 4, and I've never seen a guy so uncertain and nervous in the pocket as I've seen Jimmy Garoppolo. Like he's got the Jimmy legs in the pocket. And I'm pretty sure he just closes his eyes and throws the ball. So that's a win there. So we're 3-1 after 4 weeks. Week 5 back at home versus the Rams. Craig, I don't know if you're listening, but if you are, I am taking your Rams to win this game. Again, the Rams, I mean, Christ, we all know about their defense. I mean, Aaron Donald is a game wrecker. And I was talking to Dave from the Pass the Cheese podcast on Twitter earlier today about the Seahawks offensive line. I'm confident going into this season. I'm happy with what they've done. But Aaron Donald is just a whole different beast. Jalen Ramsey, he shut down my boy DK. I think both games last year. And then again, their offense with Robert Woods, oh god, Cooper Kupp. Sorry, I drew a blank there for a second. Deshaun Jackson. Their wide receivers are so good, and then adding Matt Stafford into the equation. I'm not going to say Matt Stafford is head and shoulders above Jared Goff. Again, we've had this discussion. Matt Stafford was blessed with Megatron for many years, but he is better than Jared Goff. I will give him that. Week 6, we're back on the road. We are heading out east. This is the Seahawks extra game versus the Steelers in Pittsburgh. And Uncle Terry, I am not sorry for this one. The Seahawks are winning this game. I'm not worried about Big Ben and his noodle arm. The guy's got nothing left in the tank there. Week 7, back at home, we're playing the Saints. Who's a quarterback? I don't know. Is it Taysom Hill? Is it Jameis Winston? I don't care. Seahawks are winning. Week 8, we've got the Jaguars. They're coming into Seattle on Halloween. Tony Khan's probably going to dress up as the most desperate guy in town. Always. Tony Khan knows nothing other than to be desperate. And again, I'm chalking that one up as a win for my Seahawks. Trevor Lawrence in Seattle dealing with the 12s. I don't think he's going to be able to handle that noise. Week 9, Seahawks bye. So going into the bye, what is that? 2 losses, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 wins. So 6-2 heading into that week 9 bye. Like you said, I love that midseason bye, especially with that extra week added in this year. The kind of later we can get it, the better. When the schedule is released every year, I always kind of look at like, okay, who's the first matchup, home or road? Okay, who's the first home matchup if the first matchup is on the road? How many primetime games? And then I also just like to see like, okay, where's the bye? Okay, week 9, yeah, I'm happy with that. Week 10, we're on the road. After that bye, we traveled to Green Bay, Wisconsin versus the Packers. Dave and Jay, I know you're listening. You're going to be happy to hear this. I am giving the Seahawks the L on the road versus the Packers. Russell Wilson's never won in Green Bay, which I always find kind of bizarre because he played quarterback at Wisconsin. So I don't know what it is about Lambeau, but he just can't get it done in Lambeau.
It's those stupid bench seats. He looks up, just can't get into them, right?
Absolutely, the bench seats. Good call. After the Packers, we go back home. We play the Cardinals. Week 11, I'm giving the Seahawks their also only back-to-back loss here. So week 11, I at home versus the Cardinals, I have the Seahawks losing. Those Cardinal games, man, they're always so bizarre. You just never like. I mean, last year it went to overtime in Arizona. It was almost. I mean, Christ, the game almost was over before. Russell Wilson threw the interception to Isaiah Simmons. Isaiah Simmons set them up for the game-winning field goal. But, I mean, a couple years ago in Arizona, they tied. There's the game in Seattle. I want to say 2018 maybe. Arizona won in Seattle. And, they had their backup quarterback doing a dance on the sideline as some Joe Nobody scored a touchdown, but it just I never trust those Cardinals games. Going into those Cardinals games, I always have my stress levels are extra high. Washington football team in Washington, Seattle wins. Week 13, back at home versus the 49ers. I'm going to say this is they're playing Trey Lance this time, and they still win because screw the Niners, and the Seahawks aren't going to lose to them. Week 14 in Houston. I'm giving this one to Seattle as well. Now this one's a little bit curious. I mean, of course, it all depends who the quarterback is for Houston. Assuming it's not Deshaun Watson, I give this win to Seattle. If it is Deshaun Watson, I still give the win to Seattle. Week 15, back-to-back road games. We are traveling to LA. We're playing the Rams. I see the Seahawks losing this game as well. So we are losing the season series versus the Rams this year. Week 16 versus the Bears. Justin Fields should absolutely be the starter by this point if he's not the starter in week 1, as he should be. That is a win for Seattle. Again, rookie quarterback in Seattle. I'm taking Seahawks. Week 17 versus the Lions in Seattle. Jared Goff is no good and has no receivers to throw to this time, and doesn't have Todd. Well, he might have Todd Gurley as his running back. Who knows? But the Seahawks are also winning that one. And finally, Week 18 in Arizona to close out the regular season. I actually had the Seahawks winning in Arizona. So the Cardinals win in Seattle. The Seahawks win in Arizona. I had the Seahawks finishing off the season with a 12-5 record.
12-5. Where do you think that puts them in the division?
NFC West. I mean, 1 or 2 for sure. I think they're going to be battling the Rams this year for top spot. It's going to be close. I don't think they're going to be number 1 in the conference. So they're not going to get that bye regardless. So I guess just try to win the NFC West and try to get that home playoff game and hope for the best, which didn't work out in their favor this year.